Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles Sebastian, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We'll cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we'll give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. We got a crazy show for y'all, but before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel, and make sure you follow me on Instagram. My handle is CTABANZ. Let's get into today's topic, man. So this is a top. Funny enough, I woke up this morning and I saw it flash across my Instagram, and I'm like, what is this? But I didn't pay too much attention to it. But apparently something went down a few days ago. So CBS released a list which was called, and I'm reading from their website, NBA quarter century teams. Right? And I want to read from the website. It says NBA quarter century teams. LeBron, Kobe, Steph are locks, but center and power forward debates get tricky. CBS Sports has selected the three best players at each position over the last 25 years. Folks, this is going to get tricky. So let's get into this. It says, every year basketball media votes on all NBA teams, which create a snapshot of each season. Which players mattered most? Who do we need to remember from that season? Who stood out in a way that even an all-star nod could not fairly reflect? All NBA is such an important honor that it even affects how players get paid, as it is the most frequent qualifying tool for a Supermax contract. Aside from MVP and perhaps Defensive Player of the Year, it's the highest individual honor a player can receive in a given season. We've now played out 25 full seasons this century. That means that a quarter of the 21st century is in the books. So we decided to look back on the last 25 years of basketball and ask ourselves those same questions. Who stood out? Who mattered? Who would we place in our own all-century teams? The exercise in some respects is intended to mimic the standard All-NBA formula. We select 3 All-NBA teams each season. We have selected 3 all-century teams below. All quarter-century first team. They have Stephen Curry, Kobe Bryant at the shooting guard, LeBron James at the small forward position, Tim Duncan at the power forward position, and Nikola Jokic. It says, for our slots, we decided 4 of our slots were decided unanimously. And then the last one was the part about Nikola Jokic. It says, Joker versus Shaq. The real question here came at center. If this were purely an all-time ranking, Shaq would probably still have a comfortable edge over Nikola Jokic. However, we're only measuring what happened in this century. O'Neal was drafted in 1992. So we're chopping off an enormous chunk of his career. That feels inappropriate, though, as Jokic is only 30. We're not counting the beginning of Shaq's career, but we haven't seen the end of Jokic's career. It ultimately balances out pretty nicely. Jokic has played 745 regular season games and 94 playoff games. In seasons that concluded during the 21st century, O'Neal played 752 regular season games and 150 playoff games. The samples are certainly pretty similar, so we can focus primarily on performance. So that's what they said. They expand a little bit further. Let's get to their second team. The second team, they have Chris Paul, Dwayne Wade, Kevin Durant, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and then on this team, they added Shaq. Now, this is interesting. And let me read it. It says a bit more debated started to creep up with the second team selections. O'Neal and Jokic split the center vote. So O'Neal's slide is easily as our big man. They explained that. Let's get to the third team. And here they have Steve Nash, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Dirk Nowitzki, and Dwight Howard. Now, speaking of Dwight Howard apparently saw this list and he took some serious exception to it. And I want to read from an article from Fadeaway World. It says, Dwight Howard picks Shaq over Nikola Jokic, calls out quarter-century teams. It continues on. Dwight Howard and Shaquille O'Neal have had a love-hate relationship for the longest time. Therefore, when CBS Sports dropped Shaquille O'Neal at the quarter-century second team, Howard did not approve. He took screenshots of the ranking and posted them on X to call out the teams. Put Shaq first team. Right? That's what he posted there. And then according to CBS staff, they have that. And then so basically Dwight Howard is just saying that Shaq should be on the first team. Okay. What are my thoughts about this list? Well, I have a few thoughts. Okay. They kind of got away with it. Well, Shaq started in 92 and this one, I get that, but let's knock it off. Because when you put out a list like that, the way people are going to perceive it is that Nikola Jokic is better than Shaq. That's how they're going to perceive it. And CBS Sports know this. No, they know this. They may try to explain it away within their explanation within the article, but when you see the list, all you see is the list. You don't see the explanation. You don't see the reasoning behind it. You don't see any of that. You just see the rankings. So when people see that Nikola Jokic made the first team with LeBron and these guys, but Shaq didn't make it, people automatically assume that, oh, these people are saying that Nikola Jokic is better than Shaq, which he is not. I have a few things that I want to say, however, and I don't care when these guys were drafted. Where's Jason Kidd? Where is Jason Kidd? Because outside of Stephen Curry, he better than all of them other point guards I got up there. Jason Kidd is better than Chris Paul. I don't even think it's arguable. And Jason Kidd is better than Steve Nash. I don't even think that's arguable. So whatever list y'all making, J. Kidd should have been on that first list. And the reason y'all list is janky is because Kobe was also drafted in the 90s, 96. So was Nash, but whatever. So Jason Kidd should have been on that team, first team. Shaq should have been on the first team. Now, if you want to put Nikola Jokic on the second team, no problem. I would have to think back in my mental Rolodex and think of some other centers. I mean, Tim Duncan technically plays center, but fine. Okay, so I'll give you that. But Jason Kidd should have made the second team. And then you can kind of argue between Chris Paul and Steve Nash. But a list that don't include Jason Kidd, y'all need to knock it off. Now, if I look at the third team, let me just go quickly back to their list here. Who's on the third team? They have Nash, Harden. I'm cool with that. Harden, Kawhi, Dirk, Dwight. Man, Dirk. Should Dirk? I think Dirk should have made it ahead of Giannis, man. Even though Giannis is the best, I mean, I don't know. That run that Dirk had and them teams that he beat, I don't know. Dirk, I mean, at least he's there. The first team I have no issues with. D Wade, I have no issue with that. Yeah, the second team is solid, although Jason Kidd should have been on here somewhere. I don't care what their measurement is. Jason Kidd should be on here somewhere. Dwight Howard is cool. I like Dwight Howard there, but hey, man, this is just my thoughts on it. So you guys let me know. What do you think about this list? Who would you have on the first team? Who would you remove? Whatever you guys think. Leave your thought. Matter of fact, leave your all first, second, and third team in the comment section. We'll go through it. Let me see what some of you guys have to say. Catch you guys on the next show. I'm out. Peace.